Happy Friday, or guess whatever day it is when you end up seeing this. Let's finish out this last class. I might as well call them class at this point. Let's finish out our last class before your weekend start. All right. So today we're talking about, well, this is not for today, but we're going to be talking about the cost of ignoring trauma. Y'all, I should have got this together before I got on. Uh, I'm trying to protect where I am. Let's do that. I think that'll work. All right. So we're talking about the cost of ignoring trauma and why your healing cannot wait. Okay. I hope you all can hear me. Sorry for clearing my throat in your ear. So listen, baby, ignoring trauma, it doesn't make you strong. It's going to make you tired and it's going to make you stuck. This is what's going to happen if you just continue to keep ignoring it. Y'all know I have my notes. So I want you to picture this, right? You're walking in the mall and you see this beautiful woman. She looks extremely elegant, looks flawless, right? She has her hair laid. She has her pearls in her ear, on her neck, tennis bracelet, all of the things, this huge diamond ring. Her heels are popping, very classy. But what you don't realize is that at night she can't sleep. She can't rest because those are two different things. And she doesn't trust herself. And it's because of the trauma that she has dealt with, even though on the outside she looks flawless. Okay. So we're going to be talking about the hidden bill that trauma continues to send you and why you cannot keep putting this off. If you're just coming in, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look flawless on the outside, but they're battling different things on the inside. I help them to find clarity, freedom, and peace. And once again, today we're talking about ignoring the cost of trauma. Y'all thought I saw a bug. Ignoring the cost of trauma, okay? I mean, the cost of ignoring trauma. Also, I forgot to tell you all, you can officially start applying for or signing up for the free webinar I'm going to do, Navigating Grief Throughout the Holidays. I'm going to do it on October 30th, but the link is up now for you all to go. It's not going to be done on YouTube. It's going to be done on a private platform, but it's completely free. You just have to sign up. All right? So, let's talk about the debt, this hidden debt that you're paying when it comes to you ignoring your trauma. Because you ignoring it, and I've told you that so many times, it's not going to go away. It doesn't just disappear because you decide to ignore it. If anything, it's building interest. It's compounding interest, okay? On top of what you've been through. And the more you avoid it, the more expensive it's going to get. So we're going to start off by talking about the emotional cost. If you are not driving and you're not at work, I want you to take notes. Now, if you can't take notes, I completely understand. Okay? I started to let you stay here so you can, this lipstick is by MAC. Do you want some? Are you mad you can't afford it? Not even expensive. Okay? 1 second, you all. Because the trolls like to troll. What going on? Ooh, Jamaica. Jamaica is in the building. Okay. What's up, Dr. Audrey? So now let me go back because the trolls like to troll. Let me go back and I'm going to start over. If you're able to take notes, please take notes. What's up, Quanda? Please take notes. Portland, Jamaica. I have a brother-in-law from Jamaica. Just what? Let me stay focused. Emotional cost. The emotional cost. I'm doing well. How are you? If you can take notes, please take notes. So the emotional cost that you are paying because you want to ignore your trauma. You're dealing with constant low grade anxiety that won't go away. So when we're talking about low grade anxiety, Dr. Audrey, can you mute some of these people? I don't know. Quanda, are you a what do you call it? I'm going to stay focused. I don't know if I made you a moderator. Hold on, y'all. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Evidently, Fridays are the days for trolls. Give me 1 second, you all. What's up, Marcus? All right, Quanda, you're a moderator now, and Dr. Audrey is already a moderator. I apologize once again for the disturbances, you all. As you come in, can you please hit the like button? We're going to get through this last class. I'm just going to start calling them classes at this point before you all start your weekend. So if you're just coming on, I'm going to start again. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for women who look polished. They look flawless on the outside, but they have all these internal struggles, these battles. I help you find clarity, freedom, and peace. Okay. Today we're talking about the hidden cost that you are paying because you're ignoring your trauma. Let's go again. I was in the middle of giving you the breakdown for, we're going to start with emotional cost. So you're dealing with constant low grade anxiety that never goes away. When I talk about low grade anxiety, this is anxiety. So it's a constant underlying fear, right? But you've learned how to manage it. You've made it manageable. So it's not like the anxiety where a lot of people are completely freaking out. It's intense. It disrupts your life, your job, your relationships. It's not that. You've learned how to manage it. So it's low grade. So because you've learned how to manage it, you think that you're okay. Oh, I'm fine because it's tolerable, right? But this is not okay. I recently said in one of my other lives, there's nothing normal about being on edge all the time. Okay. There's nothing normal about anxiety. We live in a society that normalizes it. This is not normal. All right. So, another hidden cost, you feel lonely even when you're surrounded by people. So isolation has become your defense mechanism. Okay. You feel like nobody is ever going to understand you. Also, and I don't know if the person is on live now or if you're going to catch the replay, but I specifically heard the word misunderstood, and it's like the word jumped out at me. So I don't know, again, because I know high achieving women, you all like to lurk. You don't say much. I don't know if you're watching now or if you're going to catch the replay, but you've been battling and struggling with this whole being misunderstood piece. Okay. This live is for the misunderstood, the people who think nobody will ever understand me. You've reached a certain level at your job, you reached a certain level in your business, and you're like, there is absolutely no way I can admit any of this now. They're not going to get it. That's what you're thinking in your mind because you've reached a certain level and you have all of these accomplishments. But I'm telling you, this live is for you today. Okay. Also, another emotional cost that trauma has you carrying shame. You're carrying shame, and I hope I'm not screaming too loud, y'all. I'm just learning to use my mic, and I didn't know I had the mic turned down. Hopefully, I'm not screaming in your ear. Let me know if I need to talk lower. Okay, you're carrying shame that doesn't even belong to you. Trauma will have you walking around embarrassed about things that you had no control over, things that happened to you. It was not your fault. You do not need to carry that shame. And even if we're honest, we've all done some things. We've all done some things. I don't even care if you did it. Y'all blocking everybody. I must be getting some bad comments. I don't care even if you did it. Okay. You're not what you've done and you're not what happened to you. You have to release that because trauma will keep you in a prison. So those are some emotional costs. Now, let's go over some physical costs. And remember, write this down unless you're just driving or you're at work. I want you to take notes, okay? Some physical cost of trauma. You have trauma that you're refusing to confront. Some people deal with migraines. They get these headaches that keep showing up. Doctors don't even know why. Your blood pressure is normal. Some of it gets real janky. I never see anything. Yeah, so it depends on the time. Evidently, Fridays are just the troll days. The other day when I was talking about generational trauma, it was real good. I didn't have all these issues, but I don't know if it's Friday. They just get on here to troll. I have no idea. Okay, Dr. Audrey. I think Quanta is just catching them fast. But migraines, okay, this you might be dealing with migraines, unexplained headaches, okay? You're not just dehydrated. It's actually trauma. Some of you deal with exhaustion and fatigue, and no matter how much you sleep, you're still tired. That is a clear sign of trauma and even stress. All right. Then some of you deal with insomnia or you're restless at night. You have all the success in the world, but at night it's hard for you to lay down and sleep. Okay. And believe it or not, y'all know I talked about last week or the week before last. I don't know. I talked about how trauma gets trapped in your body. I was actually working with someone and it was revealed that she had trauma trapped in her knee. In her knee. Think about that. Now, who seriously? How many of you, if you had knee pain, reoccurring knee pain, how many of you honestly would say, oh, this must be trauma? You're not going to be thinking like that. Okay. Some of you, you're trying to blame your aches on the fact that you're getting older. Oh, it's just my age. This is why I'm hurting because society taught you, they taught you to do that. Society taught you that the older you get, your body is just going to break down. Okay. And you going to have all these aches and pains. Let me tell you something. Every time I turned another year, people, oh, you're going to experience this, you're going to experience that. I have yet. I have yet. I think it may have been one thing that I dealt with that didn't even last because I just refuse. I just refuse to accept it. Okay. So physical pain, there is possible that your back aches, your hip aches. It is highly, I don't want to say highly likely, but it's quite possible that some of this stuff can be trauma, you all. Trauma that you're just refusing to address and now it's trapped in your body. So those are some physical costs. And now we're going to talk about some relational costs. Jumping from one relationship to another. And honey, if you're not someone who has done this, you've seen it. You've seen someone do this. They get out of a relationship and before they can take a shower good and change clothes, they got a whole new man, a whole new woman. It's like literally just that quick. And a lot of people brag about doing this, but it's actually a response to trauma. This is not cute. When you see people who can't be alone, they have something on the inside of them that they need to deal with. They don't want to feel. They're using these relationships to numb the pain, to keep themselves busy. Okay, this is trauma. This is nothing to brag about. Oh, I keep them on retainer. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. You have trauma and you're trying to avoid it, okay? And then there are other people you're afraid to be alone because you don't want to feel all of the feels. Okay, so this is why you do this. If that is you, you're welcome. Now you know you have trauma. What's up, Candace? Also, staying in relationships. They feel like jobs instead of joy. If you don't genuinely enjoy your friendships, what is the purpose of being friends with that person or those people if you don't enjoy it? It shouldn't feel like a task. Maintaining friendships. It shouldn't feel like a full-time job. You need to check that out because some of you all, you're sitting and like I said, was it this morning? I don't know. But you're allowing people in your circle that the only reason they have access to you is because you have unhealed trauma. That's the only reason. If it wasn't for that, all right, clock it. Also, some of you, you have surface level connections because vulnerability, it feels too risky. Okay, so you feel like you always have to protect yourself. You can never open up. Something I used to deal with. Oh, there's no way I can't be vulnerable. I have to protect myself. All right, so that's something. That's another cost. Now let's go to the financial cost. If you're just joining, we're talking about the hidden debt of ignoring your trauma. It's costing you whether you know it or not. So you can catch the replay. I've gone over the emotional cost, the physical cost, the relational cost. Let's talk about the financial cost. And I know I'm talking to high achieving women. You have the money, but let's talk about it. Some of you, you overwork. You overwork because you're trying to prove your worth. That is why you're doing all of the things. Also, Some of you spend money in order to numb the feelings. You go on shopping sprees, retail therapy, but yours is completely out of control. Okay? That's another cost. And also, listen at this and listen closely. Pouring money into therapy or quick fixes that never touch the roots. Hear me out, because y'all know I believe in therapy. I promote therapy. Hear me out. What's up, hype? Hear me out. You're going to therapy just to say, I went to therapy. You're sitting on people's couches for 3 months, 6 months, however long. All right. But you never take accountability. You're always combative with your therapist. And when they give you recommendations, you don't take action. But you want to scream, oh, well, I went to therapy. I checked that off my list. Listen, there are people who will tell you that they've been to therapy or I graduated from therapy. And it's like, okay, I need the name of your therapist so I know who not to go to. It's either that or tell me you don't listen to your therapist without telling me you don't listen to your therapist, because there's absolutely no way you've been in therapy for 6 months, some people a year, and you still have these behaviors. There is no improvement, but you're going just to say, oh, I went to therapy or I have a therapist. It does not work like that. Okay. High achieving women, they have money for therapy, coaching programs, inner healing work, all of that. But investing in these things alone without taking action is not going to help you. Yeah, I just feel stuff crawling on me. Love being outside, but I don't do bugs. Okay. So you have all of the things, but you're not implementing it. So what's the purpose of having the tools if you're not going to do anything with it? And I can't just sit here and tell you it's a waste of money, because you'll laugh at me. You have money. You're like, Renisha, girl, I will make that back in my sleep. So I can't tell you that. But I'm going to tell you, you have to make the decision to heal with intention. Okay? Drop a money sign in this chat. Drop a money emoji in the chat if you know that at some point in your life, trauma has cost you something, whether it was your peace, money, healing, your time, unhealed trauma. If you know it has cost you something at some point in your life, drop a money emoji in the chat. While y'all doing that, let me reset the room. Hey, love. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. I help high achieving women who look flawless on the outside, but they're crumbling in the inside. I help you find peace, clarity, and freedom. Okay, we just finished talking about the hidden debt that trauma causes. Y'all, remind me not to do this. We just talked about the hidden debt that trauma causes, and why healing is always going to be the cheaper option. All right, let me try to get through this. Now I feel a little drops of rain. High achievers, let's talk about why you delay your healing. One of the biggest lies that we tell ourselves is, I'll deal with it later. I'll do it later. I don't have time to address that right now. My success proves that I'm healed. That is a lie. That's a lie. Even thinking that you have time to do it later, that's a lie. Later is not promised. Okay. We wear our money, our titles, and our achievements like a bandage. But baby, success without healing is just going to make you sick. You are beautiful, you are pretty, and you're still sick. I remember this was a long time ago. I was in college, and I don't know what class it was. It may have been some type of health class. They brought these people to come and talk to us. Beautiful people, beautiful women, handsome men. All of them either had HIV or AIDS, but you couldn't tell it by looking at them. Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? They looked good. They looked really good. Honey, if you don't want to hear me talk, exit out. I'm so tired of y'all. Leave. You're ignorant for sitting here if you don't want to hear what I'm talking about. All right. So I need you all to write this down. Unless you're just not able to write right now, you need to catch the replay. Write this down. Healing, healing doesn't get easier later. It gets more expensive. Write that down. Healing doesn't get easier later. It gets more expensive. Write that down. Also, write this down. Delay is just another form of self sabotage dressed up as productivity. I used to be the queen of self sabotage. I'm trying to tell you everything that I talk about. I love talking about stuff that I've actually dealt with. I was the queen of self sabotage because why? I didn't think I was worth this. I didn't think I was worth that. I didn't think I was, because of trauma, because of rejection, because of mommy issues that I suppressed instead of addressing it and confronting it head on. All right? So you have to understand, hon, that later never comes. Later never comes. If you keep waiting for life to slow down, you're never going to heal. Hard truth. Okay? Do me a favor. Type the words heal now in the chat. Type heal now. If you're watching the replay of this, I want you to drop it in the comments section. Heal now. These are your instructions. Heal now. All right? I know women who have everything in the bank. They have the house, the trips, the designer bags, the credit cards with no limit. But guess what? They don't have peace. They don't have peace. They don't have peace in their house. They don't have peace in their soul. What's the purpose of having all of this if you don't have peace? Can you repeat the second one? Delay is just another form of self-sabotage dressed up as productivity. You keep delaying your healing. I'll do it later. I don't have time. When I finish this, then I'll do that. It's self-sabotage. And you're dressing it up under disguise of, oh, I'm so productive. I just have all these things that I have to do. Delay is just another form of self-sabotage dressed up as productivity. All right. So back to what I was saying about the women, they have it all. They seemingly have it all, but they don't have peace. Baby, what's the gain this work? Listen, you're still crying yourself. I'm not going to talk about y'all. This isn't y'all. It's not you all. They're still crying themselves to sleep. They're still snapping at their kids. They're still chasing this love that feels out of reach. They're still in these toxic relationships. They're still dating or marrying the same person who traumatized them over and over and over again. I'm going to get in trouble, but I do not care. I was watching a live a few weeks ago of a prophet pastor. I don't know her. I knew the person she was interviewing, and the lady that I don't know, the prophet, whatever. She said something about how she's been married 4 times and she used to be ashamed, but she's believing God for husband number 5. And in my mind, baby, I'm not a licensed therapist, but what I do is therapeutic. Let me tell you something. If you've been married, I'm gonna get in trouble. If you've been married 4 times and now you're believing God for husband number 5, nothing wrong with believing him for another husband, but I need you to know that you are the problem. Hard truth. You are the problem. I need you to figure out why you keep getting and you're talking about marriage, not even dating. I need you to figure out why you keep getting in these relationships and these marriages and they're not working. People can change. I get that. People get divorced. It happens. People can change. But 4 times, you need to look at yourself. You have to do the inner work. Why am I attracting the same man in different bodies? You have to do the work. So I pray if she gets married for the 5th time, I pray that she does the inner work first, because ma'am, you're the common denominator. And I don't care. You can say this one was abusive, this one did this one did that, but you chose them. So again, you need to look on the inside of you. and figure out, why am I accepting this behavior? Why am I attracting this type of man? Why am I putting up with this? But let me get back to my notes. Lord, where are we? I didn't even have that in my notes. So success can cover your symptoms, but it doesn't deal with the wound. I'm gonna get in trouble. Luke 12:19-20, it talks about how the man said to himself, I'll eat, drink, and be merry. I have plenty of time. But he didn't know that his soul was going to be required of him sooner. Okay? Baby, healing is the same way. You may think that you have all this time, but life will test you. Okay? I don't want you snapping. I don't want you end up in jail, prison for that matter, because you were putting off your healing. You thought you had time, and now somebody's triggered you and you've gone off, or you've done something. You snapped on your child, abused them, hurt them. Baby, this thing is real. Y'all know I used to work in DSS and child welfare. We had the baby was, this baby I don't think was 3 months old yet, had a cast on the arm, and the parents don't know what happened. A 3 month old. And then when the doctor examined the baby, the doctor said the baby has old fractures that healed on its own. They didn't have any medical care. 3 months. This is just a key sign of trauma being passed on from generation to generation. Even when I was working at DSS, there were so many people, repeat offenders. Their parents had DSS cases when they were little. Now they're adults doing the same thing their parents did. Now traumatizing their kids. And if they don't break the curse, it's going to pass on to their kids. Then the kids going to be sitting here facing all of this stuff they never would have had to face if their parents took time to heal. Exactly, Doctor. Listen, we've had DAD. I don't know if I can say that. Dead baby cake. Ooh, I don't know if I can say that on YouTube. We've had, it's been worse, but yeah, 2 3 months old every time. Listen, I can't even say it because I don't want to get banned on YouTube. Let me move on. The stuff. That's why I'll always have a passion and a heart for child welfare, and the stuff these kids go through is it's insane, and it will make you want to lose your job, like put hands on somebody, these parents, and lose your job. But anyway, let me reset the room. Okay, my name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach for women who look flawless on the outside, but on the inside they're battling all these internal wounds. Okay, y'all. Yes, I'm streaming outside, and I don't like bugs, but it is well. Okay. So these women, they secretly feel stuck. They're exhausted. They feel like they can't talk to anyone because nobody's going to understand them. They're these big execs. They have all of this going on. They have these big bank accounts. They're supposed to be perfect. So that's who I help. Oh my God. That's who I help. I help them find clarity, freedom, and inner peace. Okay. Today we're talking about why successful women delay their healing and how that costs you, even if you don't realize it. So now we're going to move on. Let's talk about the real cost of delay. I want you to think about it like this. So you know how you have a leak. You can have a leak in your roof, right? A leak in your ceiling. If you decide to ignore that thing, that's not going to stop the leak. It's going to keep dripping. It's going to get worse. You're probably going to end up with mold and mildew. Now you have to repair that, which is going to make it even more expensive. That's the same way trauma works. Ignoring it is not going to fix it. The more you ignore it, the more it's going to grow. I don't care how much you try to suppress it. I was about to share a personal, but I'm not even going to do that. But this is what happens, y'all, when you delay your healing. Now, the generational cost that you're paying when you avoid your healing, and I've talked about it before, your kids and your grandkids, they're going to inherit the same cycles. They're going to be fighting all of these battles that they never had to fight if you would have just done the work to heal. You don't want to be the parent that your child has to heal from. You don't want to be the parent that your child has to seek somebody out, somebody like me. If I'm if I've graduated to heaven, maybe my nieces, my nephews, whatever, you don't want them to have to seek them out talking about, can you, your auntie did that program. I saw it on YouTube. I know it's super old, but it's like she was talking to me. Listen, you don't want to be that parent. So you need to deal with this because you're just passing trauma down from generation to generation to generation. I think I'm going to talk more about that week after next. Okay. Passing this stuff down to your family. So I need you all to write this down. This is something else. Write it down. What I don't heal, I hand down. If you're in a place where you can write that down. What I don't heal, I hand down. Okay, it's like a daughter repeating her mother's people pleasing, a son repeating his father's silence. People don't talk enough about these emotionally unavailable men, but they were taught that way. Some of them were taught that way. Okay, then there's leadership cost because unhealed pain is going to leak over into your job, your business. It's going to leak over into how you lead, even if you're a pastor. Some of us, we see that way too often in the church. Okay, unhealed pain is going to leak over into these different areas of your life. So you're either going to overwork, you're going to overreact, or you're going to overcompensate. That's another thing a lot of people deal with. I've seen this especially in parents, people who were brought up a certain type of way and maybe didn't have X, Y, and Z. They tend to overcompensate when it comes to their children. And I've seen it where a lot of times when they should be disciplining their children, they don't do it. And when I say discipline, I'm not talking about abusing. I'm not even talking about beating at all, really. But I've seen it where they won't even discipline their child. That is not good. And I'm gonna leave it there. That's not good. Okay. Um, you can't pour peace into others when you're secretly running on pain. Again, this is a lot that we see even in the church, people that are just leading on empty. And a lot of times people use God in the church for so many, they use it as a crutch to not heal. Okay. You shouldn't be fueled by your pain. That is not okay. What's up, Taji? You shouldn't be fueled by your pain, okay? That's not okay. Let me try to hurry up because these, y'all. Then there's spiritual costs. We just talked about the leadership costs, spiritual costs. So trauma is going to cloud your discernment. It'll have you jumping at shadows and then unable to discern God's voice. All right. It'll keep you distracted with emotional noise instead of clarity. And I promise you, those of you that have dealt with trauma, until you deal with it, until you make the decision to heal, your perception of God, you're going to be looking at him out of a skewed lens. It just is what it is. You have to deal with it. Okay. Again, something else that I've been through. If your trauma is louder than God, you're going to keep confusing survival with actual strategy. Trauma distorts your lens, period. It distorts your lens and it distorts your hearing. Okay. Let me see what's in the room. If you ever realized that maybe you were living in your mama's pain or your daddy's pain, drop a light bulb in the chat. Drop a light bulb in the chat. Someone told me today, Renisha, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, but quick room reset. My name is Renisha. I'm an inner healing coach. I help high achieving women who look flawless on the outside, but they're secretly crumbling on the inside. I help them find peace, clarity, and freedom. Right now, we're talking about the real cost of delaying your healing and why trauma doesn't just sit still. It spreads like cancer until you deal with it. So let's jump into why your healing can't wait. Thank you for your honesty, Candace. Hopefully some more people will drop it in the chat so you can see you're not alone. Let's talk about why your healing can't wait. Okay, when we talk about healing, this isn't it's not an indulgence or some type of extra self-care that, oh, I can splurge on that. I have time now to splurge on that. Baby, what? Healing is essential. Y'all remember in 2020 when we were dealing with the pandemic and they were talking about essential workers? Healing is essential. Write that down, as a matter of fact. Write it down in your notebooks. Healing is essential. This is going to be the foundation under everything that you are building. You have got to do it heal. Heal well. Write it down. Healing is essential. Okay. And I get it. It's scary. It feels uncertain at times. You don't want to be vulnerable because you feel like you're not safe. Maybe all your life you never felt safe. I was telling someone today when I was living in Atlanta, it wasn't until 2023. It wasn't until 2023 or 2024 until I realized, I'm sorry, y'all, until I realized that I never felt safe after my daddy died. Never. And I didn't even realize it until it was either 2023 or 2024. And I was like, oh my God, I never felt safe after that. Okay. So I get it. But you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid to heal. You're going to have to allow that fear that you're feeling to be the doorman to push you into your healing. Let that fear open the door for your healing. Okay. Somebody said, I'm going through this right now. I appreciate this. You're welcome, honey. Make sure you're following me. I said I was going to go hard in September. So like at 4 to 5 days a week, I've been live talking about trauma in different forms. Let me know if y'all been enjoying this, and I'll keep it going. At this point, I'm going to just say, I don't know if we're going to call it classes. I don't know. Classes, meetings, sessions. I don't know. But make sure you're following me and turn your notifications on. Where am I at, y'all? Because y'all know how I be getting all. Okay. Let fear be the doorman that opens the door for you to walk in your freedom. Okay? Because what's waiting on the other side of that door is peace. You can't be afraid to heal. You should be afraid of staying the same. Thank you so much. You should be afraid of staying the same. You should be afraid of passing this junk on to your children. I told you all years ago, years ago, I told God, and I was serious because so many people become who abused them and what hurt them. I said, God, if I'm ever going to become like my mother with my kids, do not give me children. Don't trust me with them. It's easy to say, mind you, I said this now back when I wasn't addressing stuff, I was just suppressing it. But it's easy when people don't deal with their pain and confront it head on, they end up turning into the very person who hurt them. They turn into the person who hurt them. And I'm like, children are gifts from God. I don't care how they get here. You will not give me children and trust me with them. And then I'm going to abuse them. No, you can keep them. And I meant that. Okay. The food she eats is going somewhere. Y'all, the trolls are here at this point. Let me move on because I'm almost done. All right. So some benefits are healing. Some benefits of healing. Clarity. Okay. Clarity. When you start to heal, your mind isn't cluttered with all of this old noise. Okay. Then you have more energy because you're not continuing to run on empty and allow your pain to be your fuel. So you're more rested. You're also going to have peace. Okay. You stop performing and you actually start living. So clarity, energy, and peace. If you want to write that down, those are some benefits of healing: clarity, energy, and peace. Okay. Isaiah 61 says he binds up the brokenhearted. He binds them up. That means he doesn't shame them. He doesn't dismiss them. He binds them up. He tends to them. He says, come here, tell me about it. Come lay your burdens over here. Okay. He heals them. This promise is for you right now, not 5 years from now. And some of you, here it is. Some of you, you're trying to claim this. You like to quote scriptures. You like to do all of the things, but you still don't want to address the fact that you need to be healed. Like I said, people will use God and the church as a crutch, as a crutch. Okay. So you got to do more than quote the scripture, baby. It doesn't work like that. When you begin to stop running for your trauma and start healing, it's going to feel like somebody put an oxygen mask on your face. I promise you. And the thing is, some of you, you don't even realize how shallow your breathing, you don't even realize how shallow your breathing has been until you decide to do the work, and then you're going to feel that rush of air. I promise you, it's going to be like an oxygen mask. Some of you have been holding your breath for years. You don't even realize it. Just holding your breath, walking around like this for years, and you don't even realize it. You've learned to function in dysfunction. You've learned to function in dysfunction. Oh, I love that for you, Midnight. I think your name is Midnight. Okay? You've been surviving all of these years. You haven't been living. It is time for you to live. Drop the word live in the chat. Okay. When you start healing for real, you're going to notice even your physical body is going to start to respond. You're going to start sleeping at night, sleeping through the night. All these racing thoughts, they're going to stop. Okay. If stress has been, if you've been dealing with so much stress that you're losing weight, you're going to notice when you start healing, your weight is going to pick back up. Some of you, when you get stressed, you gain weight. And when you start healing, you're going to know the weight is going to drop off just like that because you decided to heal. It literally is going to manifest in your physical body. Okay. Your body doesn't have to fight for survival anymore. You'll notice how your cells, your cells, your home, she can't talk today. Your cells, your hormones. There you go. There is that word. And your whole nervous system is going to come back into alignment. Your organs, everything. I promise you. Start healing, and you're going to see it. Okay. It doesn't just change your mind. Healing is going to rewire your body to rest. Healing is going to let your physical body know, hey, you're safe now. You don't have to stay in fight or flight mode. You're safe, and watch your body respond. All right, let me reset the room real quick. Hey, girl. Love bug. If you're just coming in, my name is Renisha. I'm outside, and I'm starting to get hot now. But I'm an inner healing coach for high achieving women who look flawless on the outside, but they're still battling internally. Okay. I help them find clarity, peace, and freedom. We just finished talking about how healing, you can't put off your healing can't wait. Okay, because trauma is just going to increase, it's going to spread like cancer, and it's really costing you. The fact that you are ignoring your healing, it is costing you, even if you don't realize it. Okay, now I've seen way too many people, way too many women delay their healing, and then they have to end up paying triple later. This is why I created the tools I did. It's going to help you to get out of these cycles that you keep repeating. It really is for you, Candace. Listen, these tools are going to help you get out of these cycles you're repeating. Let me pull up my clarity reset so I can walk you through what's inside. So the clarity reset, this is like your appetizer, okay? It's your appetizer before the main course. This is a 7-day guided reset that's going to help you start breaking these toxic cycles that keep sabotaging your peace. If you just do the program, just go through the program, I promise you're going to see a shift in your mind by the end of 7 days. Okay. But you have to be serious about your healing. If you are serious, this would be your first step. Okay. Let me pull it up. This is the plate you're going to start with so that you don't leave hungry. All right. You'll see a greeting from me, an introduction. Whoop, whoop. Okay. So in this reset, you're going to have burden check-ins. I don't know if I can turn it around. Well, you can't really see it, but so every day I'm going to give you a burden check-in. You're going to use this to notice what feels heavy, what is weighing heavy on you at the moment. You're going to get clarity thoughts. This is going to be a short reflection that's going to shift your perspective because I'm rewiring your mind. Okay. I'm trying to train you. Then you're going to get reset practices. This is just going to be a simple action step for you to create space with ease. All right. You want to create space. You want to live in a peaceful environment, even if you're living in a chaotic environment. I need you to catch that, because it is possible to have peace, inner peace in the midst of chaos. Okay, you're going to get journal prompts for every day, a guided question to help you process and release. Please do not get this and then go straight, sit down for an hour and go straight through every day. It's defeating the purpose. You're going to do one. You're going to go day by day. Day one, day two, day three. It's not rocket science. You're going to go by each day. Some of you you're so used to overworking that you would see this and you would want to rush straight through. No, you're not going to do that. So day one, we're going to identify the weight, what's been weighing heavy on you. Day two, I'm going to help you release what's not yours to even carry. Day three, I'm going to help you detox emotionally. That's something that a lot of you all need to do. Day four is all about resetting your core. It's about stillness and the essence of who you really are. That's what we focus on day four. Day five is all about addressing physical manifestations. We're on day five today. Those that signed up for the challenge, we're on day five today. Trauma gets trapped in the body. That's what we talk about on day five. How you can address some of this stuff because you've gone all these years and now your body is manifesting things that were never assigned to you, but it's because you did not take the time to heal. You let all this trauma, grief, whatever, you let it build up. And now you're dealing with all these physical manifestations. That's day five. Day six is rebuilding boundaries. And I'm not even going to pause like I normally do. Some y'all got to get some boundaries. You have to get some boundaries. Get some boundaries and stick to them. And then day seven is all about living light and free. I have like a little small grocery list and some stuff, other stuff in here to support a physical reset. But listen, this is what you're going to do. This is your appetizer. If you're like, Renisha, you're talking to me, I need this, I love your content, I need to heal, I'm tired of living beneath who God has called me to be, get the clarity reset. This is your appetizer. When you get it, it is an instant download. You don't have to wait for me to send you anything. You get it instantly, and it is super affordable. I don't like to call my stuff cheap because I'm not cheap, but it is super affordable. Literally, no excuse. You can start healing today. You can get this today and go through day one tonight before you go to bed. Okay. When you get it, you're going to download it. After you download it, you're going to save it to your desktop. You know why? It's not just a one-time program. And whenever you need to do the reset again, you're going to be able to pull it up quickly. Okay. So you're going to save it to your desktop. Tap, tap, tap. Okay. Whenever you need it, 3 weeks from now, 3 months from now, 3 years from now, 3 years from now, it may be upgraded. I don't know. It's the bomb, so maybe not. But whenever you need it, you're going to have quick access. When those kids make you want to snap, when the job makes you want to air everybody out, when your husband start working your nerve, when you start to forget who you are at the core, when you find yourself slipping back into that place, because you have to know when you're talking about healing and trauma, these are layered processes. You can't expect to get healed in one day when it took you 50 years to get bound. You got 50 years of trauma that you're trying to address, but you want the healing to happen overnight. It does not work like that. This is why you have to give yourself grace. Okay, so you're going to have this tool that you can pull out whenever you need it. Save it to your desktop. After that, because there are some of you that you're tired of nibbling, you're tired of the appetizers, and you're like, girl, I want full transformation. Stop playing with me. You're going to get the breakthrough pathway or breakthrough mastery. The only difference is pathway is 4 sessions, mastery is 12 sessions. You know what you need. I don't know you. I don't know what you need. Okay. So whichever you need, you're going to apply for that. Okay. 4 private sessions with me. You have to complete it within 30 to 45 days. In the breakthrough mastery, you get 12 sessions, but you have to complete it within 6 months. And that's not going to be a problem because you don't procrastinate anymore. Not going to be an issue at all. This is where we're going to reset your patterns. I'm going to help you reclaim your clarity and build your success on a healed foundation. All right. So this will be the main course. Of course, when you're talking about my coaching sessions, it's going to be tailored to that person. So the clarity reset, everybody needs the clarity reset. The only people that don't need it are the ones that already have it. If you already have the burden bearers detox or the burden release method, which the clarity is just an upgrade, then you're good. But if you don't have it, I'm telling you, you need it. There's no need for you. Renisha, do I need this? Yes. The appetizer, that's for everybody. The main course, breakthrough pathway, mastery, that's going to be tailored to your trauma. You have to fill out the application. If you're accepted, then I'm going to give you a plan tailored just to you, and you'll get a digital workbook, okay? I have some affirmations for you. You already know, but the cost of waiting is way too high. All right. Hopefully, with this alive, you can now see that the cost of waiting is way too high. I don't need you to build success another year on a broken foundation, because anything on a broken foundation is going to eventually fall. It's going to crumble. It's going to crumble, y'all. This is too much. Okay. Healing isn't optional. Healing is not optional. If you want to stay whole while you're winning, then healing is not optional. It is essential. And today, you have got to make a decision. Either you're going to choose to continue to starve, or you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to sit down at a table that's going to feed me, that's going to fill me. And you're going to grab the clarity reset. That is your first step. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? If so, put them in the chat. I'm going to give you all these affirmations while we're doing that. Do you have questions about what we talked about today? Do you have questions about the clarity reset? Y'all see, I just start dazing off. Do you have questions about my coaching program? Let's go to these affirmations, because the power of life and death is in your tongue. All right. Repeat after me. Say, I am done paying the price for unhealed trauma. My healing cannot wait. Success without peace is not success. I break agreement with delay. Healing is my inheritance. I am worthy of peace, clarity, and joy now. Imagine trying to call somebody stupid and you can't even spell stupid. That is amazingly ignorant to me. All right, so this is something else I'm hearing. Don't be the person, because remember how I talked earlier about jumping in one relationship to another because you don't want to heal and you don't want to feel and you don't want to sit with yourself. So you just jumping from one relationship to another. Don't be that person who says, oh, my healing can wait, but I need this man, I need this woman. You want to jump into relationships. Do you know that, I had conversation today. All you're going to do is end up traumatizing that person with your toxicity, because you don't want to. Okay, Dr. Audrey, you don't want to heal. You're putting out on the back burner, but you want a man so bad. You want a husband so bad. If you're a man on here, you want a wife so bad, but you don't want to heal. Baby, you gonna have them people in therapy. Either that, or you're gonna end up getting with, and a lot of people do this, they end up marrying or dating the person who hurt them. So if your healing started with your mama and you don't deal with it, you're gonna marry your mama. If your trauma started with your daddy, I'm sorry. If your trauma started with your daddy, your mama, and you don't deal with it, you're going to end up marrying them. Whoever the abuser was, if you don't address it, you're gonna end up in a relationship with them. It just is what it is. People do this all the time. I need y'all to stop playing and heal. Okay, I'm done. Clarity reset. I don't see any questions. Grab the appetizer, get your clarity reset today so you can start healing before you go to bed tonight. No excuse. The link to the clarity reset and breakthrough pathway is in the description. My links are always in the description, or you can go to my YouTube page. You'll always see a link at the top that's going to take you to my healing suite. The healing suite is going to show you everything that I currently have. Not everything that I currently have, because some stuff I'm editing and I have to add it on there, but it's going to show you what you need right now. Okay. I love y'all. Thank you for rocking out with me. Thank y'all moderators for modding because these trolls were trolling. I'm going to go inside now because these bugs were bugging. I pray that you all have a phenomenal weekend. Next week, unless something changes, next week is going to be all about trauma and inside of religious sectors. I'll say it like that because it's not just the Black Pentecostal church. Okay. So we're going to talk about trauma and we're going to link it to the church. I'm going to be talking about this whole rapture thing. I'm going to be talking about spiritual psychosis. I'm going to be talking about how some of y'all try to use church and things like that as an excuse to not heal and deal with your issues. I'm going to talk about how the church groomed a lot of y'all to take abuse. We're just going to talk about a lot next week. And then after that, we're going to go back to generational trauma in the family, I think. All right. I know that's right, Candace. So yeah, I'm done because I'm getting hot and I don't like to be hot, y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. Have a safe weekend. And if you know someone that needs to heal, send them this video. Tell them to follow me, period.